Down by the river, down by the banks of the River Charles. Yeah, rock and roll, grew up and got a degree at some liberal arts college, I think Swarthmore. And then it got into angst and Australian movies and Italian cuisine, and it went upscale and it gentrified, and they put cobblestones into rock and roll, but the trolleys never ran. But if you think I'm going to listen to Aerosmith instead of the Rivingtons doing Papa Ooh Mau Mau, you are nuts. You know, the Rivingtons say nothing at all to me. But you know, the Rivingtons say it all. They were a real friendly group of guys from Long Beach. And millionaires like Pink Floyd saying we don't need no education is just like millionaires like Ron and Nancy saying, you know, the kids don't need no school lunch. If we can strike the burning bush in the desert and make the elect believe that what seeps up through is ketchup as a vegetable. All the people I know have endless CD collections that they dust and they keep in their jewel box. And the jewel box twinkles, and I say, what, is this breakfast at Tiffany's on somebody else's menu? They have CD collections that never end, but they don't get the same joy buzz that I did on my cheap transistor radio with the one plug at age 9 hearing Ticket to Ride, or Help Me Rhonda, or even the Supremes. Last night I turned 38 and I had a rockabilly breakdown fever dream of insects and my wheels fell off like a Plymouth Fury crashing like a Nova. A Plymouth Fury crashing like a Nova in an Iowa cornfield. And I realized my baby loves muscle cars because this poem is for Gail Roth. I believe you spell that R-O-T-H. She is so sexy, she gets a ticket just for opening her car trunk. She's more rock and roll than any of the music she listens to. They haven't come up yet with a song that's worthy of her cruising to. Even if Pachucos are still cruising to Neil Sedaka, and even if somebody is saying, they busted up my coupe trying to find the chronic. These motherfucking pigs say, where's my Panasonic? You won't hear any of that in my poetry because, you know, I'm white. Thank you. They haven't come up yet with a song worthy of her cruising to. She needs something she can joyride that stick to under the palmettos of Clearwater, Florida, where Keith was sitting by a pool, and he was dizzy and indulgent on chlorine, and he said, I can't get no satisfaction. She needs something she can joyride to under the palm trees of Clearwater in Hollywood, Florida, where the stoplights are so slow. I turned 38 and my wheels fell off and the power plant shot up through the hood like a clenched fist salute to viscosity. Because we all love viscosity. They're recalling the Saturns, but I'm on another planet with her. I turned into Ornette Coleman's sax, and all my friends like David the Minhares are fuzz-tone guitars, baby, feeding back a glory of life around me. I turn to a jaw wobble hornet's nest thubbing dub bass, and all my friends have gone Johnny Rotten. My baby loves muscle cars. She springs like an Impala. She's a duster. She's a butterscotch tiger. Is that a car? She's the girl John DeLorean had wet dreams of when he commissioned the GTO. I have things in the trunk that can make you go up, down, sideways, any old way you boys want to go. Two-lane blacktop. She's the girl John DeLorean had wet dreams of. She's burning up Broward and Dade County, trying to find some good music on that damn radio. And I cry 96 tears through 24 hours because she loves that dirty water that pours from my eyes. I got a double shot of my baby's love, and it was 1 part tequila and 1 part honeysuckle napalm, 1 part that coffee I'd regurgitated. Sorry about that, baby. She's gonna swallow the tongues I'm talking in, 'cause Glassolalia, you got me on my knees. Glassolalia, I'm begging you, baby, please. And it's the rock and roll code. The buzzcock said, I believe in perpetual motion, and I believe in perfect devotion, yes, I believe in. Rock and roll grew up into total boredom. It wasn't my fault. My baby is so much more rock and roll than anything she listens to. You know, her friend Eileen's house is so much more rock and roll than anything. And everyone I know is getting so much more rock and roll than the product on the market. Godard said culture is the alibi for imperialism, and I want to go to MoMA to see all the data, because I am a child. When I was a child, they let me in free, because the child is the father of the museum, and the museum is just an S and an M. On the grand scale, you pays your money to be intimidated by art on a pedestal. Rather than looking beneath her skirts, rather than being inspired, most people stand around hushed, well, shut my mouth, and awed by how nice the frames are. You know, if we could get silver frames like that for the prints we bought. But my baby loves muscle cars, pulling the muscles out of the clams, out of the muscles, and I'm pulling my muscle. I mash down on her starter and we become airborne. That is rock and roll. She's a roadrunner, baby. Beep, beep, yeah. She turns and walks away. Ah, but the mirror calls her back. Pour her another mirror, because the mirror gives her license. And I am the mirror that catches demons. She's a single reflex lens, always retouched negative she's handing me. Ah, conjuree. She makes being good a delicious prospect because she unlocks the dark, key by key. Wearing a pentangle, a silver pent-up house by Clifford Brown and Sonny Rollins. Ah, conjuree. She frisks the frets for furtive flats, wrings them out, the neck erect. Ah, conjuree. Down home, child, to earth and back, forward-thinking mind, topsoil free. Ah, conjuree. I said sift the gauze and salt the gash. Bromo seltzer blue umbrella keeps her up off the ground. The smell of youth brings bird of success, and it lights on her, limb by limb by limb, the tree. Eden trembles at the border moist. Ah, conjuree. Winter dance party lost in the snow. Study the silhouettes for motions in the know. Tracks lead to the lake aglow. Scamming secrets off that screen that otherwise you wouldn't see. Ah, conjuree. It came down to poison chain, links one by one. Ink on the brain said that you're the only one. Mysterious license she took with me. Gave a different fever, degree by degree. Lift your head in prayer and left it there. I was a sturdy workman to rig this tree. Ah, conjuree. But you skewed the latitude. You realigned the flesh orbit. Carved hot suffering out of any cool joy, you please. Raise the board and pass the admonitions. The veil lifted, you were on your knees. Ah, conjuree. In the orchard of dripping fangs. She so naked and banshee. The apparatus so watchful an insect. Time is the root of all evil. Locusts ticking. At the window outside of me. Ah, conjuree. And in the capital the pigeons sworn to the steps to uphold their swollen duties, and discharge them free of any memory of the Republic. Ah, conjuree. Mascara scars on Legend Street. Laugh lines crack open like Venetian blinds, letting out the dark from her green eyes like ingrown seas. Ah, conjuree. Double barrels both to hell. Don't hear no ocean in that box of shells. All the bad medicine she poured for me is still on the spoon she cooking up and licking for her own disease. She gonna be the bitch in obituary. Ah, conjuree. Deep now course, touch your way in. It's a solid sweet. I think, sometimes I feel, dissolves any way you see. I told her I drained your swamp to teach you a new boogie. Ah, conjuree. In the mundane bazaar, barter a backlog of graven imagery. It was trend blight. We had to cut off her credit. Going down for the third time in the mainstream. It wasn't free speech, all just very cheap. Ah, conjuree. And the jungle comes in close. Claws of remorse, the sting of regret on every new leaf vein. Labored breathing close to the ground. Rolling forward, mulching me, haunches groove. Lock-in smooth without any sound. She is stripping for the weather, and I got a cold front moving in just back of me. Ah, conjuree. But I am the breaker. I bite into the circuit. I drink the raw juice of the matrix. It charged my tongue to her name's electricity. She is so essential. Reminds me of all my other hungers. Ah, conjuree. Condemned to wet. Another slick stretch for thee. From the hanging rain I need a reprieve, and all the gallows humor over your head. It's a boastful rain. You part that hurricane curtain, bead by icy bead. Ah, conjuree. Homing pigeons nest best drifting in the radar. Any more plains land, this fault-line city might break. Crash open the crates with a crowbar. You are the soft, soft freight. Everything falls dizzy and me, and it shatters if you even sneeze. And it left a hole in my roof, my home went crunch, a hole in my life that gathers icy seed. Ah, conjuree. And I'm going if you're glad, I'm coming, even if you're sad all over. Don't talk, put your head on my heart, it's on my sleeve. You got my heart on my sleeve, and your white-hot pincers are out, divining, plucking pearls from all this grease. Ah, conjuree. It must be nights in Kinesia, I'm breathless at litanies. It must be nights in Kinesia, I'm breathless at litanies. It must be nights in Kinesia, I'm breathless at litanies. Ah, conjuree, who slides into love like a grudge, her eyes strobe like the lightning and the heat. She is the static cling in America's back seat. I took that Rock Island song to No Name Key. I took that Rock Island song all the way past Lead Belly, y'all, to No Name Key. Ah, conjuree, and she comes most holy in unknown tongues. Baby Jade chimes the rabbit flowers in relief. Baby Jade chimes the rabbit flowers in relief. Ah, conjuree. Look, a gift horse in the dark. The glass eye pops loose from the carousel horse. It rolls down the wooden pier to rest in the sand. Under the out-of-tune bandshell, the colored lights. This page, a missing link that needs the dark to breathe.